John, that does tie into a little bit of the conversation we want to have today, because let's face it, and we know truckers especially, the roads are their office, the highways are their office. Finding a rest area for truckers, you would think it wouldn't be such a problem. It is a massive, massive issue across this country, Lewie.
Yeah, I mean, parking and restrooms, all that stuff is a major issue. Most people never give it a second thought because, you know, most of us, we're in a car, we travel across the United States, we can stop about anywhere. When you got something that's 70 to 75 feet long, weighs 80,000 pounds, that becomes a little bit more of a task than just driving your Prius. But I mean, the one thing I will say, the state of Washington right now has some bills out there, which is they're addressing this. I applaud the state of Washington for taking the lead on this. They're doing something we've been trying to get our federal government to do forever, and set aside some money and some grants and stuff for parking. And also, I never thought I'd have to testify about using the bathroom, but they're making a bill that if you're a shipper or a receiver at a port facility and you have restrooms, you have to allow truckers to use them. And, you know, it seems to me that that would be common courtesy, common sense, humanity maybe comes into play here. But, you know, it's not forcing them to build them or anything, but if they have them to buy. But I mean, I've been in places delivered and they would not let you use the restroom.
It's disgusting. Just as disgusting a thing as you could possibly imagine. It really is heartbreaking. But yeah, I'm glad Washington took the lead on that. And it's also interesting because I know, you know, Washington, that West Coast corridor, Oregon, Washington, California, they're some of the most expensive and difficult states for truckers to operate in. But it's nice to see them sort of acknowledge maybe the error of their ways and try to make amends in some of these cases.
Yeah, I personally have never operated out there, so I can't speak personally. But yes, from the people I talk to, it's hard. It's a harder place to operate. A lot of NIMBY there. People don't want trucks in their backyard. You know, a lot of that. Yeah. I mean, to me, the hardest place to operate where I trucked was the Northeast. You know, New England, New York, New Jersey, those places. New Jersey probably was better than most, but when you get up into the New England states, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all those, they're not truck friendly states at all. There's not a lot of places to park. There's not a lot of places, truck stops. It's just everything's super, super expensive. It's just that's rough. I mean, I was lucky. I trucked a bare enough. I kind of learned my way around and found little places, and they're out there. It's just a matter if you can find them. But for a guy or a gal who's trucking in these areas and not familiar, it can become really difficult. And
Boston, Louis, especially Boston, right? And we were kidding earlier. I was listening to a song earlier this morning about trucking in Boston, and it brought back a lot of memories when I was with Aramark, and we probably had 30 routes, step vans making deliveries in downtown Boston or inside the loop there. And I can't tell you, I wish I knew Zach's dad, Arthur Miller, back then, because I was paying so much in fines and parking fines. In fact, on my P&L, I actually had a line for, parking fees.